What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Kangas Khan, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a review on the game Highguard. A lot of you might have seen Highguard circulate in the interwebs, talking about how bad the game is, how bad the reviews are, all of that, good stuff. And for those of you who haven't seen any of that, Highguard is essentially a PvP base shooter, I think is what they're calling it. Picture a battle royale where you try to destroy the other person's base. It's more complicated than that, but we'll get into that in a little bit when we go over like the gameplay loop and all that good stuff. I can't say I've been keeping an eye on Highguard, but I did see a couple things about it before. I recognized it. I saw it came out. I saw it was free. And anything free may never hurt me before, so I decided to give it a try. Give you my take on it. I have some thoughts. Spoiler alert. I don't think the game is all that bad, but we'll get into all that. I wanted to try Highguard because the premise looked kind of cool, actually. The reason I don't like battle royales is because sometimes you'll get into a game, it'll be 40 minutes of you just looting. Me and my friends call it loot simulators. That's what it is, because you go through 30 minutes, you're just looting. You get sniped from some PUBG. It used to happen all the time. God, I hated it. You get sniped from like 300 meters out. You just get popped. Or, you're taking fire from somebody so far away and you're running around with, a submachine gun and you still got a pistol or something. Like there's so many variables to a BR that like when it's peak, it's peak. When it's not peak, it's not peak. So Highguard came out, or Highguard, I saw a trailer for it and there was this base. I remember seeing the tower break into the base and they're rushing in and I was like, oh, like that looks kind of cool. That seems interesting. I like that idea. Now, before I start ranting, let me talk about the gameplay loop, since I just mentioned the trailer and the base defense. So the gameplay loop, essentially, you start the game, and it's a preparation phase. You have a base, they have a base. You're in your base. There's a preparation phase. You could set up walls. That's it. Then after the preparation phase, you get a looting phase. So you go out for 2 minutes and you loot. It's just like a battle royale. There's a huge map. There's different points of interest. You go to them, you loot, you get better gear. Cool. You then, after that, 2 minutes, you fight over a sword. And the sword opens the other person's base. So the sword spawns somewhere on the map. Both teams go to it. You have to try to capture it and bring it to the other person's base, get it into like a keyhole type thing, and you open up their base. And then you go on to the next phase. And then the next phase is the attacking and or defending. So obviously if you get the sword and you bring it to their base, you attack their base. If they get it to yours, you're defending your base. So you wait like 10 seconds and then your little, I don't even know what it's called, a little tower thing breaks into their base. And then you raid it. You have to destroy 2 sites and a core. And then if you don't destroy the whole base, you do the whole thing over again. You prepare, you loot, you fight for the sword, you attack and or defend your base. So the first cycle from when the game starts to like the first time you attack or defend, all of the loot that you could find out in the wild is blue, and then I think there are ways that you could get purple. And then if you attack and defend and their base isn't destroyed, your base isn't destroyed, you do it again, but this time the tier moves up to purple and you can find purple stuff. And then if you do it again, you get to a third phase, you can find yellow stuff. And this is going to lead to something later, but you can continue to go. There was one game I got into, I think it was like the 5th phase, and it was still just yellow gear out there. I'll get into each one of these phases a little bit later when I start really getting into what I did and didn't like about this game, because each phase is something in its own category. So let me just go through the jumping into the game. First thing, no idea what's going on with the story. No idea. Don't know. Have no idea. Don't care. It doesn't really appeal to me. I don't remember seeing a cinematic. The tutorial. That's my first gripe with the game. Come here. That's my first gripe with the game. The tutorial teaches me how to play a shooting game. Hey, grab a gun, pick that up, shoot that target. Cool. Bet. Papa. Got it. I was aiming down sight before they told me to aim down sight. That was the next thing. Hey, aim down sight. Oh, sorry. I've never done one of these before. Thank you for that. But then it goes through like a little bit. Hey, mine this rock, trade it with the trader. You get better gear as you loot. You can throw a grenade. Use a couple skills. On a hero, you're probably not going to use. Plant this bomb. break a wall, and then they put you in a game. Well, then the tutorial ends and you kind of go. They give you a little bit of like a base thing, like here, break this wall, plant this. Somebody can defend it, so you better be careful. But then I got into my first game, and this is something that only happens really with League of Legends. This happens bad with me with League of Legends. This is why I don't play this game like regular League of Legends. I get anxious going into a game when I have no idea what to do. And the tutorial taught me how to play a shooting game, but it didn't really teach me how to play Highguard. It never went through the phases, like, hey, you're gonna start by prepping your base, and like it taught you how to do the individual task of each thing, but there was never like a this is how the round is set up. Didn't tell me about the phases, didn't tell me about, you know, the going in with the tower, the zip line, stuff like that. Like, it didn't teach me the game itself, and I think that is bad. You know, it's probably my gripe with the game. That's how I felt when I went into it. I was just anxious because I was afraid I was going to be really bad. And I do believe there might have been a video or something, but I'm sorry, I'm not watching a video. I'm not watching a video after I just did the tutorial to play this game. That's not happening. If I need to watch separate material to understand your game, the trailer didn't work. I feel like, hey, maybe that's me. Maybe that's just me. I got into the first game. I had no idea what was going on, but it wasn't that bad. I was, you know, I was in my head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I do truly feel like the tutorial did not teach you how to play Highguard. It just taught you the basic mechanics of any shooting game. If you played a shooting game before, skip the tutorial. Skip it. You know how to press E. You've planted a bomb in Valorant, Big Dog. You've done that. You're good. Hop on in. You're good. You're good. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So that was first impressions, I guess. And then, like I said, in the first game, it went all right. We figured it out. So let's talk about the phases. Let's talk about the phases. The first phase is the preparation phase, and this leads to my biggest issue with the whole game. And let me tell you about it right now. The game is kind of like a lot of other games, like any other battle royale. Like any other battle royale that you play, this game does all the same things. You go out, you open chests. Oh, little side note. When you're looting in the loot phase, you can fight other people. The other person is out there somewhere. Half the time you don't see him, half the time you do see him, and then you're fighting the whole time and you don't loot. But the game is based around this base defense. You gotta protect your base. So you get the preparation phase, which you're able to set up preparations to defend your base. You could put walls up that make the walls extra hard. But that's it. That's all you do. That is all you do. There's no traps. There's literally nothing else. It's just setting up those walls, and you only get 5 of them. And then when you go out in the looting stage, you can get more, but what am I supposed to do? I've got 2 minutes, and then a very important object comes up, so I'm supposed to just go back and use these in the middle of all this. I don't quite understand if I'm supposed to loot real fast for like 30 seconds, go back, do it, and then go back out. Like I'm not really sure. And then you go into the looting phase itself, which it's fine. You go out, you loot, maybe you fight, maybe you don't. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Then you get into the sword. The sword, I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. The battle for the sword it starts right after the loot phase. So you go through your loot phase, 2 minutes, and then it's like, hey, the sword is going to spawn here, and you got like 30 seconds to get to that point and then situate yourself, and then the battle begins. And you're essentially fighting to grab this sword, bring it to the other side, and the other team is trying to defend you. If you kill them, they could revive their teammates. They could spawn back at the base. You can also, if the sword is, you could always actually recall. You could always recall. You could always go back to your base. You also have horses. So like the travel isn't too bad. I should have probably mentioned that before, but you get like mounts, so you could go out. And the mounts kind of add like a little bit of a movement tech, and you could do things with them, which is kind of cool, but we'll get into that later. We might not even get into that, to be honest. But, so the sword battle thing, you're going back and forth. And this kind of leads into one of my issues also with the game. I have a lot of issues with the game, but I don't think it's a bad game. I have a lot of issues with the game, though. There's so many rules. Which also goes back to the tutorial thing. There's so many. So if you get the sword and you bring it to their base and you put it in the keyhole, their base automatically loses health. I think it's 15 health. Might be 30 health. I think it's 15 health. If neither one of you bring it to the base, you go into an overtime. And the overtime is essentially you have 1 life. So if somebody dies, they die. You could revive them still, but if the cooldown for the revive is up, they die. So then it's like a last man standing type thing to get the sword. And then same thing. If you kill all of them, they kill all of you. One of your bases lose 15 health. There's a third option. If neither of the teams fully die, the sword will automatically go to the base that is closest to it and nobody loses health, which is something that sounds kind of important. I guess it's hard to put into a tutorial, I guess. Like, hey, side note, like, we're going to be taking 15, this is the health that you take, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I feel like it could have been explained a little bit better. And then you go into the base battle or defense. So remember those walls I talked about earlier? Those super special walls that I get 5 of, that I could go out and I could get more and I could come back and I could do something with it. If you were the last to die, you get no time from when you revive to when their thing gets into your base. You have like 7 seconds, 8 seconds. So you can't like use those walls to like prepare while they're attacking you. So the whole preparation thing, also those walls, they're not that indestructible. Most of the time you have charges. Most of the time you have grenades. I think the rockets, it takes 2 shots instead of 1. Unless it's a purple, then it just does it in 1. So the walls feel generally useless. This goes back to the base building thing. My defense feels useless. There's nothing for me to defend with. Why am I even putting walls up? There is a game me and my friend played where our teammate for the whole looting phase destroyed all of our walls. We were playing with a random, he destroyed every wall. And then we went out and we won the game. So what are the walls for? Like, what are we even doing here? There's no traps, there's no nothing. There's no nothing. So the attacking and defending, kind of just, you know, they open up this hole in your shield, they go in, they try to plant bombs. There's also different levels of bombs. So you have your sights, A and B, that you can take. They lose 30 health if you blow it up. Then there's the core, which the one game we played, they destroyed our core first, and we just lost the game, which again was never explained. So I was generally confused and upset. I was like, I don't understand how this game. I was actually upset in Discord with my friend talking about, I don't know how we just lost that game. We had 70 health and we just lost. So tying back to the overtime, to the who loses health, to the tutorial, like there's all these mechanics that circled around each other that they're just never explained. Like, it's never explained how much health they lose or when they do lose health, or if you get the core. Like, if we're getting the core, why are the other 2 sites here? I get it. They're a little bit more out, but again, the walls mean nothing. The walls mean nothing. I can break the walls and just go to the core. And that's what me and my friend do now. We just break walls, go to the core, and today we played, we got like a 5-win streak, and that was it. That was it, because that's all you need to do. And then the recycle, the rebirth. When you go out the second time, so say you defend everything, right? You didn't touch me. Now you go out and you loot again, and now the tiers of the loot go up. So you get purples instead of blues, which is cool. Let me upgrade. Let me get some upgrades. Actually, if this gun was purple, that fight would have been totally different. Actually, let me swap up. Let me see if I can find a sniper out there, because this map definitely sniper focused. I played a game where we did it multiple times, because a lot of the fights resulted in somebody running away. So like the overtimes didn't result in anybody losing health, and then nobody would plant, and then it just happened again and again and again. After you get to gold tier, nothing else happens. So you just kind of do it again. But I have all this gear already. So why am I here? Why am I out here? And that's to get a little early, because I want to talk about things that I think the game should do to change. The game should never last more than like 3 phases, because there's no reason to go back out there. I get it. Oh no, like we didn't destroy anything. How are we going to finish the game? You have 13 different overtimes for everything else. Do another overtime. Like, oh, this is the 3rd phase, last phase, guys, and maybe make both walls open. where you can choose to defend or attack, have one person try to defend, like, you could do it, whatever. Let me keep going. So those are a super rambled and over-explained look at the phases. So let me get into kind of like the nitty-gritty. I kind of touched on it before, but the pacing, there's a pacing problem. There's a pacing problem in this game where, like, some matches end super fast. And I get it, it's like skill, you know, oh, my team's better. There's no ranked, so right now it's just quick plays. So it is just kind of a bunch of randoms getting together. So sometimes you do just steamroll. And then other times you go through a 5-phase game and you're just drained by the end of it. By the end of that 5-round game, I didn't care. Take the base, big dog. I do not care. I also want to talk about gunplay. So I mentioned earlier that the team behind this game are a lot of old Apex Legends devs. And you can tell. I feel like the map kind of looks like the Apex Legends map. I don't know, the greens, like the grass, the sliding, the way the slopes are, like it's just, it feels very Apexy. The UI is Apex Legends. When you're looking through the store, when you're looking through the shop and you're looking through all the different cosmetics, it's Apex Legends. But the one thing I'll give this game, the gunplay, also kind of Apex Legends, and I like it. I love Apex Legends, and I think the gunplay in this game is pretty good. It's not bad. The weapons balance, I guess I'll say, isn't horrible. I don't feel like there's, well, I like the Vanguard, I believe it's called. It's the assault rifle. That's my go-to. I'm getting that every time. It's like the R301 from Apex Legends. It's just it's a beam. So it's hard to pass that up, and I like mid-range fights, so it's hard to pass that up. I said I like it, but this is a good and a bad. The bad we'll get into, but I like the gunplay. I like the combat. When you get that 3-on-3, even the base defending, regardless of the whole I can't defend my base, it's a fun time when you have 3 people who are playing together. The randoms, that's another issue without the ranked, but it's coming, so I'm not going to get too into that. But the 3v3 fights, when it is condensed down to fighting for the sword or for defending and attacking the bases, I enjoy a lot. I have a good time breaking walls. It gives you, I don't want to say it feels like Fortnite, but it does give you that, like, oh, like, they're closing open the door, I'll break this wall, like, I'll go in through this, I'll go through the back way, break the wall, you know. It's cool, it's interesting. Again, I'm just breaking walls, like, I don't have to worry about the walls, I'm just breaking walls. So the combat is good. To touch on that thing I talked about, the bad, the gunplay feels like Apex, but Apex Legends is better. And that's, if I had to sum this whole video up, I know you know me, if you've been watching, you know me, I'd be rambling. But to sum up the biggest problem I have with this game, there are a lot of things that are good. Like I said, the gunplay feels a lot like Apex. The movement kind of feels like Apex, that you could kind of slide, mantle, do stuff like that. The abilities for the heroes makes, of course, you have to draw the comparisons to games like Overwatch and the arena team-based shooter type things. And then it also, I believe, weird take, but I think the game was Realm Royale. When you died, you turned into a chicken before somebody revived you. It closed down. I think they did like Realm Reborn or something like that, but it gives me a lot of those vibes, probably just the horses, but there's a lot of things from other games that it takes from that are good, but none of them are better than the game itself. Like the movement in the gunplay is reminiscent to Apex, but Apex does it better. The heroes are reminiscent to those team-based shooters, but every one of those team-based shooters do the heroes better. So you run into this thing with this game, which is, I think, the biggest reason people are disliking it, is it feels like all of these different games, but not better than any of them. So if I like shooting, I'm gonna go play Apex. There's one unique thing about this game, and it's the base attacking and defending. Like, it's the only thing about this game that sets it apart from any other battle royale, and it's so lackluster. I like the base. Like I was saying before, like when you get 3v3 and you're defending, attacking, you're trying to open up and close windows to, you know, poke them from inside, and the rockets are coming in. It's a great time, but it's just so bare bones. And that's the thing with this game. If I had to recommend you play it or not, I would first have to ask if you are interested in the base rating. Because if not, whatever you like about battle royales, you will find somewhere else. I'm sorry, I love Apex. I love the boys behind it. I enjoy this game, but the one unique thing is so bland, so bland. You need to, if I had to give my thoughts, I went to school for coding for a little bit. I got 1 year in college, couldn't afford it. So I'm not gonna tell you how to run your game. But there are some things I think could be changed. I think the preparation phase should probably be put after you loot. Weird take, maybe a hot take, but it just makes more sense to me that like you go, maybe you get 10 seconds to prepare like yourself mentally, like, hey, what's in the shop? What can I trade the trader? All right, this is the map. Let's go. And then when you attack or defend, you go out, you get more base parts, you get more things. And then when you attack or defend, God, give me a minute, bro. God damn, bro, give me a minute. Let me breathe. Like when you're done with the team fight and I get back to base and you give me 2 seconds, it's like, I don't even know where I am right now. But I think the preparation, being able to do it like, all right, we've got, a minute before we go in. Because there's so many different time things anyway, like just switch it. Give me a minute. Let the defenders put defenses and stuff, and then the attackers could, plan their attack, maybe set up zip lines early, and then when the shield breaks, the zip lines go in, and then you have them right away. Like, I think the prep after would be better, because why am I looting these walls, my guy? Why am I looting these walls? I'm not going to use them when I go back, and I'm not going to waste my time from looting to go back and put them now. Which, again, the base defense. You have to add more to the base defense. There needs to be turrets. There needs to be traps. There needs to be... Some of the heroes are considered like defense, like the one, I don't remember his name, but he could build like ice walls and he could repair walls with ice. But that's a very in the moment thing. So one of my ideas, there's another hero who he spawns like minions that shoot. And you could have like 2 of the small ones and then your ultimate. I think it would be cool if he had a passive where like he could set up those turrets in the base and they're just base turrets. Like you have your 2 active that you can use and blah, 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 and then you have your ult. But I can have, like I could set 2 up in the base so when we go to the base defense and attack, they're there. And I'm talking they're there already. Going back, if you want to just say like, oh, you could do that when you're being attacked, then give me time to do that, because I don't have time to do that. If I was the last one alive in that team fight to get us here, I don't have time to do that. Maybe we could switch the strategy and let them take the base. Like, hey, you're here, take it, just have it. But it's still a weird thing. So I know I was rambling, but to sum it all up, I think the game is good. I think the shooting is good. I think the combat's good. I think the movement's good. I think the concept good. I think the concept is great. I like the base attack and defense. I like that it gives a new, unique twist on battle royales. But my issue is that everything is good, but nothing's great. And the unique part about this game is just so lackluster. There's just nothing going on with it. So if that's what I like, I'm not going to stick around for it. And if I like any of the other things, I'm going to go do those things on another game. I appreciate everybody coming, listening to me talk, listening to me ramble. If anybody else has played Highguard, if you want to let me know in the comments how you felt about it, if you agree, disagree, what you'd like to see added. I know they had a roadmap. Cool. Well, cool, I guess. If you haven't, you could like and subscribe. That'd be cool. If not, that's cool. But that's everything I have for you guys. Again, thank you for listening. Peace.